Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. This weekend we got the new Edgar Wright film, The Running Man. This is a remake of, whether you want to look at it as a remake of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or the actual book, The Running Man, written by Stephen King, another adaptation of Stephen King that we've got in this year. Now that's 3 in 1 year. The Long Walk, The Life of Chuck, and now The Running Man. I was looking forward to this movie. I'm not a huge Edgar Wright fan. I liked a lot of his movies. The first movie I saw of his was Hot Fuzz back in 2007. And then I saw, The World's End, Baby Driver, and that's one of my favorites, The Last Night in Soho. So I was looking forward to his new movie. I thought, why not? You got my boy, the new boy and toy of the 2020s, Glen Powell, in here. And then you got like Michael Cera, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo. So I was looking forward to it. So what did I think of this? Positives. Glen Powell. Glen Powell he really is becoming the next big movie star. Whether you want to put him on the same level as Tom Cruise, or Brad Pitt, or combine them, and you got Glen Powell. He brings so much, he brings the everyman quality in this movie. A guy who's just trying to make money for his family. His daughter's sick, so he enters this competition, this reality TV show, in order to, make money to, basically keep his family alive. And he's great at playing that everyman character. It reminded me of actually Bruce Willis in the original Die Hard, John McClane, as just an everyman who gets caught up in something one day and, go from there. He brings a lot of charm, he brings this anger quality to it also. One thing we know about Glen Powell, he likes to become different characters, whether it was that movie Hitman last year, or this year, we got the Hulu series, Chad Powers, which is really good if you haven't watched that. And now even in this movie, he puts on different disguises, so he can't get recognized. And there's even a scene where he becomes a priest, and he's doing this. It reminded me of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3, when he dresses up as a priest. Now he definitely has those qualities of being the next Tom Cruise and the next Brad Pitt, or a combination of both, or even a little bit of Bruce Willis. And I thought he did a great job. He carries the movie. If it wasn't for Glen Powell, this movie would not work. Josh Brolin, he becomes the head person of this reality TV show. He's like the producer. And it's like he's over the top, but it's nice to see Josh Brolin over the top. He plays so many serious characters, whether it's Sicario, or as Thanos in Avengers, or even earlier this year in Weapons. And he's great as the announcer. He reminded me a little bit of Stanley Tucci from The Hunger Games, but he still brings his own thing to it. Coleman Domingo is the Stanley Tucci of this movie. He's the dude, the host with the most of the show, and he brings a lot of energy, and he was really good in the movie. I enjoyed the action scenes. There's a variety of different kinds, and I thought they were all well done by Edgar Wright. Some of my negatives. This movie is way too long. This movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and this movie should have been 1 hour and 45, 1 hour 40 tops. Cops, people. This movie went on for way too long. Also, for being an Edgar Wright movie, who did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which was very creative, or Hot Fuzz, or the World's End movie, which was also had a lot of creativity. This is the same guy that was going to do the Ant-Man movie, the first one. And even there's scenes in that Ant-Man movie that are still Edgar Wright's choices, like the whole ending with the train. And then you watch this movie, and you go, there's nothing creative. There's no, creativeness in this film. It just, you would think they would have done something more interesting and creative and brought a sense of an Edgar Wright feel to it. And I didn't get that at all. The book is set in 2025. We are in 2025, obviously. And I'm watching this movie and I'm going, I've seen this before. I've seen all this before. You know, the reality TV shows are now using fake AI to make people think you're seeing one thing when it's completely something different from what the person said. You know, what's real and what's not real anymore. And I'm watching this movie and going, okay, or you watch a Hunger Games movie. Yes, the Running Man book came out in 1982, way before the Hunger Games. You can even say that the Hunger Games got its inspiration from the Running Man. That's more accurate. But since we already had seen 4 Hunger Games, 5 Hunger Games movies, and we're getting another one next year, I feel like I'm watching the Hunger Games, but not as good. And where I feel like they, for the movie, maybe they should have jumped further into the future. Instead of saying it in 2025, our present. Yes, the book was set in 2025, but the book came out in 1982. I would have jumped 20, 30 years further and done something completely different with the setting. There's really no standout characters. Yeah, we get Josh Brolin and Coleman Domingo as the producer and the host of the show. But I really like Michael Cera. His whole stuff wasn't memorable. We get Jamie Lawson as the mom. We barely see her. Amelia Jones shows up in the third act, and I had no point in why she was in the movie. And it's like, none of these characters are fun. You look at Mamie Driver. Every character in Mamie Driver is interesting and fun to watch. Or any of the, Hot Fuzz or The World's End. Or Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Every character in that movie is interesting and unique. Here, you get none of that. And that was also a bummer. Overall, we give this like a 3.9 out of 5. It's a great starring vehicle for Glen Powell to show he can be an everyman and also be an action star at the same time. But outside of that, also La Vista Baby, you will not be back. Matt the Man here. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment.